Let's start talking about a new face here. Good to welcome in Dwayne this week.
It is, and it's a face we know quite well actually, because we've watched him over the years do well for Huddersfield. He was there as a kid, and we remember reviewing him when we played Huddersfield, and we thought that if he started, because he had a chance of starting against us, we thought he'd be a danger because he's a very good mover. He runs with the ball well. He's got lots of tricks. He's only little, which means I'm not the smallest in the club anymore, which is good. That's another reason why I signed him, and someone I can bully. And also, we needed somebody different as well, to add to our squad, and I like to see a squad full of different sort of abilities, and he has got that ability to go past people, and that's what he does very well. He's very quick, nippy, and difficult to contain. Now, the chance we're taking is that he's strong enough to play 90-minute games in a relegation battle. Mark Robin seems to think he will. I think he will, so we thought that maybe now's the time to give him that opportunity.
Yeah, very highly rated at Huddersfield, isn't he? Which is obviously a good sign as well.
Well, sometimes when you come through the youth team somewhere, you're probably treated like a youth team player, even when you're 19, 20, and sometimes you need to go to another club to be seen as a man, if you like, and ready. Now, because he's only little, some people don't, like to see small people in their team, but I've never had that problem, of course, over the years, and some of the little ones, Darren Way, to name but one, do a job for you, and anyway, we brought him in, and he'll get his opportunity, and when he does, hopefully he'll impress.
Do you have a role in mind for him in terms of a position, or is that yet to be determined?
No, we have a role in mind, and we have a position in mind, but at the moment we won't be divulging that until whichever game we decide to start him in, and that's when everyone will know exactly where we're thinking of playing him.
Yeah, and Ruben Palazuelos didn't get his chance midweek, but is he someone that comes potentially into thinking for this weekend?
He does, and there's a few now. Adam Morgan's over his little problem that he had. Palazuelos, Lanzoni, none of them will let you down, and there's still Kevin Dawson and Sam Foley, and we've got a couple of injuries in Hoskins and Grant, Joel Grant. So and even we mustn't forget about Chris Dunn, our goalkeeper, who did really well for us. So hopefully we've still got that competition, if you like, and because they're all going to be needed. I think we've got 7 or 8 games in March. There'll be 7 or 8 games in April. So the whole squad has got to be prepared and ready, and we got to manage that and hope that we can keep enough people happy that they'll have a smile on their face for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and next up, we've got a big game, isn't it? This Doncaster one, last of this batch of home games, but arguably perhaps the most important.
Well, every game, every time we play Doncaster, it seems to be a big game. We both come from humble beginnings in the conference, so I've got every respect for them, because I know the hard work that's gone in it from us, our point of view, to get where we've got, and this does become the next biggest game we've ever had. Do you know what I mean? And that's how it works. And of course, everything will look a lot sweeter over the last 2 or 3 games if we can get a result. And if we do get a result, then the league will look a little bit sweeter as well. You'll still be below that line, but there'll be a few more teams looking over their shoulder, and that's really where we want to be. I thought we did everything the other night except score. Now I know, people that play FIFA manager and all that, Championship manager, they're not having that, are they? But that's all we can do as a management team, put them out there to go and win a football match, and then it's up to them to tuck away the chances that you get.
Yeah, and this is a true 6-pointer, isn't it, if you like, given the league position between the two sides, the points difference and so on.
It is. It is a 6-pointer, and it's it's a game actually I'm looking forward to. I thought our home support was terrific the other night against Watford. I think most people looked like they was understanding what we needed to do. I've tried to explain it beforehand to give everybody an idea of how the game will go. I'm happy to do that again on your radio station, and then the commentators then can talk about it on the video and see whether it resembles what we're trying to do or whether it doesn't resemble what we do. Certainly Tuesday resembled exactly what we were working on, and I was really pleased that the lads had put a team like Watford to the sword as far as how much possession we had and how many final third opportunities we had. That was the big thing for me. We didn't allow them to dictate the game, which is what they like to do from their solid position.
And not just a 6-pointer, but I mean, you referred to home advantage here. I mean, if ever there's going to be home advantage for these type of games, is when you're going to need it most.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, when you was in a Sunday league team, it didn't matter whether if you was the best team in the league when you were kids. You won the league, you won away games as many as you won home games. It's about the quality, really. But yes, it can give you an advantage unless you're playing some top teams. We've got to make our home form better, of course we have, but we're in the Championship, and but I did say it will be the teams in the bottom half of the table that are the key to us being successful in getting out of trouble, because and that will be the case. So that was why I was pleased with a point against Watford, and if we can go to places, I've said it before, like Wigan, QPR, Reading in the near future, and pick up a point or two, then you can't pick up two, a point or three, then you know, that's because we've looked organised, and then you need to get your results, your 3 points somewhere along the line, and it will be great to start on Saturday, and I'm sure our fans will be behind us like they have been, you know, throughout the season, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, you talk about sort of the home pressure, I suppose, in terms of wanting to improve the home record. Do you think there is more pressure on the players? Do you think that's what they feel when they're playing at home?
You know, when people ask me them questions, the easiest answer is to say, look, we're in the Championship. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. We knew we were going to have to fight for everything. We knew we was going to have to be clever with the loans, clever with our budget, all that sort of thing. So, you know, we're going to take each game as it comes and try and do well in that game and win that game. If you want an opinion, I think we're still going to be better than 3 other teams. That's what I honestly believe, and I think if we are better than 3 other teams and we do get above that relegation line come May the 3rd, whatever it is, then that will be an absolute magnificent achievement for our football club, and that's what we've got to keep realising. You're not going to win every week or even every other week at this level, so, you know, let's be aware of where we are, enjoy it still if we can, and get our team performing like they did the other night. And you know, you go away 1-0 winners and everybody's absolutely ecstatic about the result, the way we played. But we are at this level now that we got to do everything we can to stay in the game, and that means tactics, players, all that, and I think we will. Yeah,
and just finally a word on Doncaster. I mean, they're obviously still got a lot of threats, haven't they, within their team, despite where they are in the table?
They all have, haven't they? Again, we're talking about the Championship again, and you know, they've got they came into a little bit of money last year and maybe the beginning of this year, and they brought in some decent players, but they are where they are in the league, so that gives you every opportunity to pick up points. They're the teams, as I say, we got to pick up points with, but you know, Doncaster, Barnsley, you know, the team Millwall, Charlton, they're all decent teams and they're all Championship teams. So, you know, let's not think that we can turn up and win a game just because they're at the bottom near us. We've got to work very hard because they're desperate to stay in